morning, everyone. We are well into the first week of April, and we have moved out our seedlings and transplants for the day. They're not getting enough sunlight in the window and with the grow lights, so this way they get to be exposed to a little bit of colder temperatures. They get that wind, and they also get about 14 hours of sunlight. Not all direct, mainly indirect sunlight. So Eric is over helping a neighbor. We helped the other day clear some wood from his property, some of the beetle kill, and we were rewarded with the logs in return, which is awesome because we can use them for firewood, we can use them for building. So that's where he's at, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on planting some of our cole crops since we are about 7 weeks away from our last frost date. All right, so we are back inside. I'm going to do two different things today. I'm going to be transplanting some more pepper plants. A few days ago I transplanted tomatoes and some of the other pepper plants, and I'm also going to be starting the cole crops. One thing I wanted to talk about today, if you don't already know about it, is Mycorrhizae. And this is a fungus, it's an inoculant, and you put it on plants. You can put it either on the seed. I like to put it on roots of the plant when I'm transplanting them. And what it does is it has a relationship with the roots of the plant itself. It allows the plant to uptake more nutrients through the soil, and you'll see those plants usually have a lot more roots by the end of the season. And in return, the plants give the mycorrhiza sugar. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. We've been using this for a few years gardening, and I feel like it makes a huge difference. It can be kind of pricey to find, so shop around, but we always buy it in the dry form, and that's how I like to put it on the plants. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do an experiment. I'm going to take two equivalent, or as equivalent as I can tell, pepper plants and inoculate one of the roots with this and not with the other. And then I'm going to grow them and see how they do throughout the season. And we'll compare the roots at transplanting time, and we'll also compare them at the end. One of my favorite gardeners is Charles Dowding. He is an author, he teaches classes, and he also has a YouTube channel that I will link. Absolutely wonderful method to gardening. He's no-till and compost only and has spectacular results, which is what we're kind of trying to implement with our growing as well. I already had some of these red cups punctured at the bottom. I'm going to use these. I usually like to use styrofoam, and I find they last a few seasons. The thing is that these were a little bit leggy, so I wanted a little extra volume of soil for the plants. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out two Wonder bell peppers, and that's what we'll be doing the experiment on. And again, I'm trying to choose two that are pretty comparable in size. I think this one has a little more roots, but they're stock size. This one actually seems a little girthier, and their leaves are similar. So we're going to be inoculating just one of these. We have found we like to apply this two different ways. Either I'll put it on a tray and roll the roots in it, or what I'll do is I'll just take a pinch of this. It's like a white powder, and I roll the transplant's roots in my hands and just put a little bit on there. And what I'm also going to put in here is, it's BioLive. It's a down-to-earth organic fertilizer. We like them a lot. And this sad little fella is not going to get that Mycorrhizae, but I will give him fertilizer. So the gentleman I was mentioning earlier lives in the UK. I think he lives in Zone 8. And that was pretty comparable to where we lived back in Oregon. So that was why he was my favorite to watch. But also, he does a lot of like trial and error things or experiments. Really cool. He'll, till up one area and not till another and go ahead and compare the overall plant health and the yield. So I'm kind of using that as being inspiration just to try this. We generally always put it on all of our transplants that it has the relationship with. I will go ahead and link some information about the mycorrhiza. It does not form a relationship with every single plant. In fact, I think it's very large. It's like 95 or 99% of plants. But what I will list for you is a chart that shows you the plant family of some that it doesn't form a relationship with. So there's really no point to put it on them since it is kind of pricey. And the main one that I can think of is your cole crop. So that's a lot of stuff. That's collards, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, certain mustards, turnips, all of that. Don't even bother putting it on there. It's just not going to make that relationship with that plant. Okay, so we have our two pretty comparable bell pepper plants, and I will fill you guys in on how these are doing when we transplant them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these guys transplanted. Alright, so I just got finished planting all of that, and what I'm going to do next is just water some of the plants that have their second set of true leaves with a light fertilizer. I like Age Old Grow, and recently I just got this Biomarine, which is pretty nice. It's a little stinky, but it's pretty nice. And I'm going to do that probably every other week until I get them in the ground or where they're going to permanently be. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys next time.